Too many surprise Final Fantasy collab came early. Let's see what's it all about. Let's begin with the Overkill, Sazantos EX. He is a merchant, oh you know the drill by now. He uses spear and his best attacks are jump based, like that one skill Magnolia has. He has an additional 100% potency buff for jump based attacks, which stacks with other potency buffs, so he really kicks, hard. He'd need all the damage cap up you have. Other than that, he has follow-ups while he's in jump and some debuffs. And he exploits fire and wind, but I guess this is to be expected nowadays. So his damage skills. The strongest one is his ult. Yeah, it wastes a couple of turns, but it hits really freaking hard. If you want to use it, U10 is highly recommended, you can't go wrong with it. And he also hits fire and wind with it, so it's even more usable. And here are his passives, which improve the jump. By the way, the spear follow-up works on any skill. You don't even need to attack. Dragoon Toss also has a weaker version of ult as a regular skill, and it is one turn faster. As for other skills, he has various multi-hits for shield shaving and debuffing, pick what you need. Here's some other more or less useful versions. As you can see, he is quite a beast. Is he worth it though? I think he is only in one case, if you intend to get him U10. His ultimate is going to be your main damage tool, so missing out on a couple of hits on an ability this strong will be very unpleasant, even if you'd probably get by. Really, if you wanted a spear DPS you should have gotten Magnolia or Oscar by that point. Let's move to Ophilia EX, the Overmediocre sadly. She's a scholar who hits all magic weaknesses, asterisk, and heals. Yeah, her best abilities are once again fire, ice and lightning. She has an 8 hit light also, but light damage is a joke mostly, there is no support for it. Ophilia's skills have a gimmick, some of them ignore dodges and blocks. Remember the Ticklian fight and Hunter Tower boss? Me, only critical hits do damage. Ophilia just ignores this mechanic and hits anyway. Useful for sure, but really niche if you ask me. But that's all with the positives she sadly has. Number of hits on her best skills is uninspiring. Those skills also have terrible potency, and shield shaving is also a challenge. Okay, let's see how she works. She has a latent power giving access to her best elemental skills, a 6-hit AoE with low potency. What's interesting is that she can use other skills to set reuse turns to 0, which allows to use the latent 2 times in a row. The enabling skills, her ult and next ability, don't do that much damage though. By the way, she has maxed out passives for damage, a small saving grace, but still barely enough to make her effective. As for the other skills, she has the Cyrus trademark kit and some other boring skills that don't make sense, like 4 hit fire, hit slide. What is this? Why would anyone use this? 6 to 8 hit light attack, okay, I guess you could try using it for damage, if you had light support, which I don't think we have yet. Then non-elemental elemental attack, which could be cool if it had any practical use. Ophilia also has some support skills, notably a boostable defense buff, which actually looks great. Only Organ has a similar one. All in all, the verdict? Undercooked. The buffs NetEase gave her weren't enough. What's the point in making her main damaging skills more usable if these skills are garbage? They should have given her a double cast for example, and made her summon skills exploit one more weakness. That would have made her worth it. You know how weak her summon skills are? Their potency is 6 times 40 base. You know Organ's size attack potency? 6 times 65. Being a DPS isn't even his main thing, so you don't need her for sure. Unless you're hoping that once the collab comes out in China, we would get their buffs, how it happened with Audio in Taiwan I think. Now the Overhealer, Agnea EX. Honestly, I think she's kind of neat. Not great, but okay. Her main thing is that she gives fat HP barriers when healing, up to 3000 additional HP, but she also has general debuffs, can be above DPS, can shave shields, can exploit light and dark with her skills, but she has a weird niche that other characters already cover more or less. So depending on the fight, I would equip her differently. Since her barriers scale off healing with scales of magic attack, for better barriers I will give her magic equipment. That way, if you are healing every turn or every other turn, you probably won't even need traditional HP generation. That also allows to activate her passive reliably. It's not the coolest passive, but it can be useful. What especially helps Agnea's kit is that she can shield shave and heal at the same time with some skills. And she also has an OK ult which you can stack with other ults. I guess in that mode you get more benefits from using her outside the bow team. Like in a sword team for example, where her passive buff would be most useful, and where you don't necessarily have the go-to tank. Her other mode is giving her a physical weapon. She does have decent potency on her bow skills, so if the fight is survivable without fast 3k HP shields, she can totally do some damage. For example, she has a nice AoE skill exploiting light and dark. It should be AoE, changelog was a bit unclear. If it's really AoE, it's quite amazing. It's also an 8 hit at max boost. Her EX used to be a 2 hit with huge potency, so it was logical that it gave damage cap up. Now I guess you can use it to give yourself some cap up right before break. She also has some debuffs, should have been AoE too really. So what is there to say about her? Some people say that Agnea has to do both damage and healing, so she needs both stats at the same time. I think you understand that it's not realistic in our game. So what you'd want to do instead is equip her with whatever the battle demands. Still, even keeping that in mind, she is in a weird spot like any other cleric in the game. How often do you run into a battle where you desperately need HP barriers to survive the damage? There are little to none if you are properly prepared. If there is such a battle, then you use a tank, and there is already an excellent hunter tank Killens, which is likely to solve all your problems. And he gives passive attack and bow damage support, which stacks incredibly well with huge up. So if you have these two, Agnea won't add too much. Maybe she's good as a DPS? Actually, maybe. We do get a free awakening stone for her. You can use it on A1. So if you want to fill the niche of an archer hitting light and dark, she is not terrible. All in all, these three are a quirky, dysfunctional bunch, and I can't recommend you to pull anyone. But let's hope they will get buffed once more once they come out in China, and maybe we'd get their buffs too. Thanks for watching.